Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Ariel.
How's it going? Sorry for the
I'm
delay.
good.
It was my fault.
I
A
I
lot of
I
people,
blame Ariel.
a lot of people
It's
buying
fine.
stuff at the store these days. So I was not expecting to have to wait so long in line.
That's okay. No worries. We have all the time in the world. Yeah, probably not all the time. But so how have you been? How is your S90C going?
And
That's
I'm loving
unbelievable.
the size increase. Wow.
Mm.
I was not expecting. I mean, of course, it's bigger. Yeah. But you see them on the
That's what
store,
she
they
said.
look a lot smaller. On the store,
Yeah, of
they look
course,
small.
because your room is now much smaller.
Yeah,
That's
so
that's
it
right.
depends on your room. So when I took
Mhm.
that down, 65 inches, huge. And
Yeah.
I mean, you can see all the defects of the games even more. Like right now, DLSS performance is not cutting it. With that screen size, that's not enough. So
So
yeah, that GPU upgrade, yeah, I need that.
So
Because
the,
I
the,
have
the summary from Ariel is 1080p 32-inch monitor is fine.
So yeah,
Anyway,
I mean, I'm loving it. I like. I mean, it's the size is amazing. This is just fantastic for gaming. 65-inch. Wow, tremendous.
oh my God, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
So how
Um,
about your PS5?
yeah,
I've been
today we're
watching
talking
all the
about.
videos.
Hopefully, yes. I hope so. You do. So, first of all, of course, thank you very much for all the great support lately. Viewers or the views from my videos are skyrocketing, really crazy. I really appreciate this. And yeah, I am just right now, not just, but today in the morning, I started testing Dragon Dogma on the PlayStation 5 Pro testing, and it has a ton of options. Not as many as I thought in the beginning, but it still has a lot of options with ray tracing, 120 hertz options, stuff like that. So expect this video by hopefully this evening, late night probably, because again, I like to test it against the base PlayStation 5 because otherwise it doesn't make sense to see an improvement. But let's talk about PlayStation 5 Pro because I
I
bought
think
it
that
on launch
game.
day.
I think that
Yeah.
game on the PC, Dragon's Dogma, runs very bad. Do you see stutters on the PS5?
Yes, I do. I
Okay,
do.
yeah,
Even with
it's just
VRR
bad.
or yeah, it is not well optimized. So even with VRR enabled and stuff like that, or even with the sometimes fixed 30 FPS mode, you have some additional stuttering from loading or asset loading or whatever this is causing. So it's not perfect. But I still like it actually at the moment. It's a good
You,
game. They need to
you know
optimize
what?
it.
One thing that I would like to see you compare or maybe find which games stutter on the PC and they do not stutter on the PS5, because a lot of people like to go to compare PC with PS5 Pro, or let's just make a PS5 Pro killer PC or something like that. And the thing is, PS5 Pro, very nice hardware. If the developers focus on the PS5, because, and they do, because most of the users play on PS5, and you have a very smooth game on the PS5, then they port it to PC and it is a mess.
Yeah.
That might be a reason for someone to jump in if that's the game they want to play.
Absolutely, yeah. So, first of all, if you, as always, if you have questions and stuff like that, put a big Q in front of your text or comment because that's it's much better then for us to read because we're getting so many views at the moment on our stream. It's just unbelievable. Thank you very much again. And yeah, so what is my verdict? I mean, first of all, I put the question, and do I regret buying the PlayStation 5 Pro? No, absolutely not. But my situation is a little bit different to yours maybe, because I bought it mainly actually to do testing. Okay, so for the channel, not even for the channel, I would buy it anyway to do testing, to compare and stuff like that. That's what I like to do. Okay, so I don't regret it. Okay, spending money on this kind of stuff because that's what I like to do with my money. But the truth is that if you're looking for a big difference between base PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro, there is no big difference. That's what I found so far. And I tested a lot of games, not all of them, of course. But when we're looking at games like Alan Wake 2, yes, you can see the PlayStation 5 Pro version has less shimmering, shows a little bit more details and stuff like in very on very small objects. Maybe we have a little bit better shadow quality. We have, of course, ray tracing in the fixed 30 FPS mode, but in general, it's a small update or upgrade. You know what I mean? In games like Final Fantasy VII, yes, again, you can see a jump up in picture or in the sharpness of the picture, but the big question is it worth to spend almost twice the money? No.
I think I have two main points.
Yeah.
One is, what if PSSR comes to the base PS5?
So say
Then
again.
the difference is gonna the PSSR, the
Yeah.
upscaling. What if it comes to the base PS5? That's gonna make the difference a lot smaller.
It will
I don't
not
think
come
Sony.
to the.
Yeah, I don't think Sony's gonna do that because that's one of the biggest selling points, right?
Yes, but I have my opinion on PSSR. It's not perfect. It's far away from being perfect because all games that I've tested so far, which are using PSSR, adding actually this noise filter on the picture. So you end up in some situations, you end up actually having so depending how the original base Pro was implemented, you know, if you have a very good TAA implementation or whatever, or FSR is working good, or it was a native 4K resolution or something like that, you can end up on the PlayStation 5 Pro with a less sharp picture than on the base PlayStation 5.
Oh, really?
It can happen. Yes, it can happen. It's so the thing is, you add. So it depends on the situation. So I found, let's say, in Demon Souls, and it's always very hard to show this on YouTube videos, thanks to the compression on YouTube or when you upload videos. But I found some locations when I switched between PlayStation 5 Pro and base. The base had a sharper picture. You know what I mean? So it looked sharper. And then you use the PlayStation 5 Pro version, and it's not as sharp. But then you use a different scenario because of the dynamic resolution. Suddenly, the PlayStation 5 Pro shows a sharper picture because it has more raw power. Okay, but we can't say at this very moment that PSSR is the better option. I would actually say no. It needs time and work and upgrades, and same as DLSS or FSR. I mean, at the end, it's FSR at the end. You know what I mean? Somehow.
So maybe you think that they are smoothing too much, trying to eliminate the aliasing. They are doing it too much, maybe.
Yeah, I think probably, I don't know what it is, but you can see it very clearly on my Last of Us comparison video. Because I zoomed when I was on the horse, in the very beginning, I zoomed on the floor, on the bottom, on the ground, and I'm moving. And you can see on the base PlayStation 5, it's actually slightly less resolution. You can see this, but it's a clear picture. On the PlayStation 5 Pro, you can see this noise on the picture, and which is, of course, then not perfect or ideal when you like to show small details or very fine details. So no, PSSR is not a deal breaker or not a game breaker at this very moment.
But noise, like you mean kind of a film grain, or?
Yes, something like that.
Ah.
And no, I turned off film grain, of course. It's not film grain. It shows this in all games when you have PSSR enabled.
And this is still very important for the PC, because I think PSSR is like FSR4 beta or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very.
I hope that, of course, because I saw some comparison videos, and I haven't done this on my own. I like to do this on my own with Ratchet and Clank, you know, comparing DLSS with PSR, because I played it the other day on my S95C in the PlayStation 5 Pro mode, and it looks so damn sharp. It's unbelievable what this game looks unbelievable. So I like to compare this with DLSS and all the quality, performance, whatever mode you have on the Windows PC, because then I like to see what is the real deal here. Okay, but I'm not expecting the same picture quality as with DLSS. DLSS is going a long way. You know, it's really good.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank is one of the best looking games for sure. And
Absolutely.
the most impressive things for me is how the base image, if you turn off TAA completely on the PC, it is so broken. Like it is, you see that there's a lot of corners, like low resolution is everywhere. But when you turn on TAA, everything comes together and it looks amazing. And that's one of the very few games where I can't say, oh, TAA here is like absolutely amazing. So then when you apply DLSS, it's like next level. So I don't know how they did it. The Spider-Man games also look very good. Insomniac, the engine that they use is probably one of the best. I mean, I would be happy if all the games run like that, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting.
Hopefully the number changed to Unreal Engine.
Hey, let's give a shout out to Daniel CH. He has a YouTube channel and he focuses on PS5 stuff, input lag measurements, and all tweakings. So check him out. Thanks for being here, man. He's saying he's going to bed.
Buddy? Don't go to bed. It's 12. It's 12 a.m. That's nothing. No, but really, so again, I haven't tested, of course, all the games. I'm still missing Spider-Man 2 in terms of testing, Ratchet and Clank, and also Dragon Dogma 2. But you need to understand, testing those games and doing it's so much work. Really, is so much work. It's unbelievable. Because I like to test it always against the base PlayStation 5. I have seen so many videos also from bigger channel actually where I haven't expected this, and it's just testing the PlayStation 5 Pro version, not against base PlayStation 5, but maybe there's a reason for it, because again the difference is not like day and night. I mean, don't get me wrong, Stellar Blade, for an example, looks absolutely fantastic on the PlayStation 5 Pro, but this is not a very demanding game. Okay, so you run easily with 80 FPS with PSSR, and I think in terms of PSSR, probably the best implementation so far. But I think when you switch to the Pro Max mode, which has then native 4K with TAA, it's bad. It's comparable bad. Even we have now suddenly a 4K resolution. PSSR is much better in Stellar Blade on the PlayStation 5 Pro. But yeah, it's not a game changer so far. That's my problem. What I'm having here.
Here, Ronnie is saying is like DLSS 2.5. Yeah, we have to see that compare side by side with DLSS for sure.
Should they have made a more expensive console which can perform at the level of 4080? Look. From the performance, apparently it's 45% faster or something like that than the base PlayStation 5. To be very honest, I can't see this at the moment. I can't see it because you know more about PC GPUs and stuff like that, Ariel. If you get what would be an upgrade if you get let's say 40-50% GPU upgrade? Let's say you're coming from what you got at the moment?
I have a 3080 12 gigabytes.
So what do you need to buy actually to get 40-50% more FPS or more power? Let's say like this.
Well, 4080, 4090.
4080, 4090.
Yeah, so okay, I have my eyes on that 5090.
It's a difference.
So that's gonna be crazy money.
But look, and then you're expecting, of course, when you have 40-50% more power, are you not maybe expecting 40-50% FPS? I know it doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? But
so the thing is, on the PC, and this is my biggest concern with the PS5 Pro, that you cannot take advantage of everything, all the games. You cannot see the upgrade everywhere because it's not a PC. With a PC, for example, let's say I get a 5090 and my CPU is not fast enough, for example, for me to let that 5090 stretch and give me all the frames. Okay, I can use a much higher resolution than 4K and get the same frame rate I'm getting if I'm already CPU bound, but just get a higher fidelity. See? So you can always tweak the games to take advantage of what you have. On the console, you need to rely on the developers to do that. And if the game was not originally designed to take advantage of the PS5 Pro, and it wasn't because there's no new games that that you have for the PS5 Pro, then you need the game to have like an unlock performance mode or something like that. So that's the issue that I see. With a PC, I know I will take advantage of that for sure. There's always a way to increase the fidelity if I cannot get more frames. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't mean you get a 50% faster GPU. That doesn't mean you're going to just get that on FPS, because the FPS also depends on the CPU and a little bit on the RAM.
Yeah, let's say you play with 720p or whatever. I get it. You know, if the CPU can't do it, you can't do it. And this is the biggest problem what we probably have with the PlayStation 5 Pro. The CPU upgrade is actually non-existing. They increased, I think, a little bit the clock speed and whatsoever. I mean, we have now faster RAM and more RAM, but this will not help, you know, if your CPU bounded. Okay. Let me answer this question. Will LG Z3 work with the PlayStation 5? You have an LG Z3, or
that's
you're
going 8K, to, I believe,
that's an 8K OLED.
Yeah.
Which costs, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000.
I mean,
I hope you get the PlayStation 5 Pro for this TV. Yes, it will work perfectly. Why not? You can, you can. So the thing is, you can change. There's an option allow 8K output. So it will apparently. I don't have a 8K TV. It will apparently output in 8K. But again, the internal resolution is a different story. Okay, just because you're outputting in 8K doesn't mean you play in 8K. But apparently, the PlayStation 5 is more than capable of doing that.
And actually, on those 8K TVs, sometimes they have, or always, I think, they have like a processing to give you more details out of 4K. So maybe, I don't know if that works on game mode, on game optimizer mode. But maybe it's gonna even be better to just have 4K output and let the TV do the higher quality. I don't know if it would work on game mode, but yeah, that would be my question.
But it will work, Sonia.
No, for sure.
Thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you very much. And it will work perfectly. I mean, if you get a LG Z3, I would like to see this. You know, I would like to see the TV anyway.
That would be amazing.
So we have Phase 23 BKNY. Thank you very much for the super chat. Waited to finish Jedi Survivor on the Pro. Looks way better compared. See this? I haven't tested this game as well. There's not enough time. It's so much better compared to the stuttery blurry mess in the regular PlayStation 5. Really, it's so much better. See, maybe after Dragon Dogma, I need to test this one. Thank you very much for the super chat again.
And that's a game that you should, if you were gonna try a game to see if it has less stutter on the PS5 Pro or the base PS5, that might be the one, because on the PC it's not good. It stutters and it doesn't look fluid at all.
It's not an Unreal Engine game. What was the name called? DC?
No, that one. No, that one. It is the one that's not Unreal Engine is the Snowdrop engine. Is the Outlaws, Star Wars Outlaws. But the Star Wars.
Jedi Survivor. Sorry,
Jedi Survivor
I was thinking about Outlaws now.
Yeah, this is the part 2 of Jedi Fallen Order. I am playing it right now, by the way. It's such a great game, and I don't know why they messed up the performance so bad. It's a very good game. I'm liking it a lot. And HDR looks
Survivor
amazing.
Received already a patch for PlayStation 5 Pro? Question mark? Or is it just because we have now more power, the dynamic resolution is kicking in later, and also we have more frames in general? Which can be the case, you know. I haven't tested Wukong, because apparently, even there's no PlayStation 5 Pro patch, it increases the FPS already.
Nice.
We have another one from Faith. Thank you very much. I'm not waiting a year to play a game on PC like GTA 6. Let's see if you have to wait, but I agree with you. You know,
if you like so he's saying GTA even 6, I understand. So even when he has like 8K top of the line, he's like, okay, I want to play GTA 6 day one.
I get sense. I mean, to be honest, that's a game. just to test it, I would probably buy a PlayStation because I just like to see it. Yeah, now I know.
But definitely for GTA 6, I don't think it's gonna have 8K output, but maybe. Maybe that TV can give you better sharpness.
It has 8K output, but internal is 720p.
Yeah. I mean, even in the trailer, GTA 6, the hair looked like a lot of shimmering on the hair. With this lady, when she turns and the hair goes like that, shimmering was very bad for the hair.
Yep. Right. I know Digital Foundry compared DLSS with PSSR, and yeah, I like to do the same because I like to do my own testing always, but you can see the same issues what I described already with PSSR. You have slightly noise when you use PSSR on the Pro, and DLSS is almost perfect, I would say. DLSS is so great. If you have a PC, I mean, you have to use it. That's how it is.
So here, Slippery Hitbox says PSSR has a frame rate cost around 10 to 20 FPS, and that's one of the reasons why it can't be added to the base PS5.
Was it 2 milliseconds or something like that? What it's also changing? As I heard something. Yeah, it cost actually. It cost actually, but it's the same as DLSS, or DLSS cost also performance, but because you're using a lower internal resolution, it doesn't matter anymore. And because the upscaling in DLSS is much, much better. So, and it's adding perfect anti-aliasing in my opinion. So for some games, it's just great. But this is what I'm talking about. PSSR, this is a stupid name. The upscaler from the Pro has to go a long way. You know what I mean? It has to go a long way. And I hope it will be improved over the time as DLSS, and then it should be really, really good. So let's put this one. Neocodex. Marcus, you guys are really missing out how much of a difference the GPU upgrade makes, going from unstable 40 FPS on non-pro games to complete stable rendering and higher dynamic res is big. Yes. But so I think Stellar Blade is the best example on that, because we are not CPU bounded at all. Or let's say like this, I think maybe at 80 FPS is game over, because that's what the game can deliver. I think that's the best example, actually. I haven't compared this against the base PlayStation 5 in my video. I just did a very quick video on the PlayStation 5 Pro. And it looks really, really outstanding. I agree with you. So we need to do more testing in terms of unstable games. And I started with Dragon Dogma is really, I think, a good example, but it takes me ages to do all the testing. You know what the worst part is in Dragon Dogma? Even you're not saving, and you load later the same save game, you can end up with a complete different daytime. I noticed this. Why is this the case? Is this a real-time thing always in the background? It's annoying.
Well, anyway. Some games when you save, they change the time of the day for some reason.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Like the time advances when you save, basically.
Yeah.
Someone here is asking on the Samsung TVs if the sharpness on game mode should be at 10. So on the PC, when you set it to PC mode, the sharpness is 10, but on game mode is 0. So I don't know why you see it at 10. It should be 0 in game mode. If you have it in console it's 0. The sharpness
is it by default 0?
By default, I think so. Yeah, it is 10 with PC mode only.
So yeah, Ariel is absolutely right, and I was surprised about this as well. As soon I connected my PC on my S95C, and I immediately saw, and I'm not sure anymore if it's default 10 in game mode, but anyway, so I know it's 0 for game mode. Okay, 0 for game mode, because otherwise you're adding sharpness to the picture, which is not good. But as soon as I connected the PC and I changed the sharpness to 0, because I was thinking that's the right value, I had a very blurry picture. It has to be 10. I don't know why Samsung is doing this. It's not good. But I would put it to 0 in game mode, actually.
Yeah.
We have another super chat from Face. Thank you very much. What should I buy, LG G4 or S95C? I would actually buy the S95C.
So, but here's
it's
the
hard
thing.
to tell.
It's difficult. It's a difficult choice. I will go with the cheapest one. And the thing is, if you can get the S95C for half a price of the G4, that's a no-brainer. The G4 is still very, very expensive here in the US. Not big discounts at all. And the S95C, I got the 55-inch for $760. So if you can,
this is really.
if you
I don't
can
even
get
know.
that, I mean, that's a no-brainer.
I'd just like to know right now, because you're absolutely
It was
right.
on clearance. That was not the price. Right now it's like $14.99.99 in the US. So, but I got it on clearance. But I think the TV to get is that 65-inch S90C that I just got for the PS5 Pro. It will be amazing for 60 FPS games. You can use Game Motion Plus. And it's so good, man. I am using it on the PC.
Oh my God,
all the
you
time.
have no idea. Yeah,
all the
we
time.
should do I think next time we need to do more videos about Game Motion Plus. So because I'm disabling VRR and 120 hertz when I play on my S95C, because I like to have a stable 60 FPS and Game Motion Plus. It's much better than having an unstable frame rate. And this is we are not kidding. Game Motion Plus is like a buff. This is this is like a PlayStation 5 Pro.
I mean, you can get a high-end PC experience thanks to the TV, because you go from 60 to 120 FPS, and the input lag. I did a comparison with the input lag. The LG C1 Pro is an OLED, so no motion settings at all, and the S95C with Game Motion Plus. The difference, it was so hard to tell. I was jumping with a Spider-Man, and with my naked eye, I had to step back. Yeah, I can see it, but
absolutely. Now, for a casual player, or even for a hardcore player, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. There's no problem. Of course, if you play Counter-Strike, then you're not using a OLED TV anyway. But no, use it. Game Motion Plus. So that's why S95C. I would buy a S95C.
Yeah, big
just
reason
for Game Motion
because
Plus.
of that. Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know how Samsung is doing this, because no other TV manufacturer is offering this, and it is such a big selling point for console gaming. If it is possible, I think all the TV companies should have interpolation for gaming, low latency motion interpolation for gaming. Have you
noticed any downgrade in general in picture quality when you use Game Motion Plus?
So what I see,
fine, huh?
What I see, if I lower it to 50 FPS, at 50 FPS it works. 50 hertz you need. So I'm not sure if that's gonna work for the PS5. If you can set the PS5 to 50 hertz output, I don't know if you can.
No.
It works. So the thing is, I see that the motion, it looks like the frames in between are maybe lower resolution, because it doesn't look blurry, not only because it's less frames. I think it looks a little bit blurry in motion because the frames have less quality.
That's for 50 hertz, huh?
50. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that 50, I can maybe notice better the defects, right? And of course, you are going to see some motion interpolation artifacts. When you have a scope in the middle, if you move left to right, you might see it, depending on the background. You might see the scope getting double or triple. So that they are there. The defects are there. But the thing is, it is so good. It is good enough that I will always use it. Because the thing is, even on the PC, if I can get 100 frames or 120, I will get those frames with less quality. You see, I can push the graphics more, get more pixels down to 60, and now I get
That's the point. So I tested Diablo 4 briefly on the S95C because they have also unlocked frame rate now on base and pro version, and you get up to 80 FPS, okay? So in the performance mode. So there's unfortunately no unlocked fidelity mode, or you want to call this. And I switched back to 60 hertz, so 60 FPS with Game Motion Plus. It looks better than 80 FPS. Much clearer, sharper,
Absolutely.
better. Aaron, if my TV has an HDMI 2.1, do I need a special cable, or the cable that comes in the PlayStation 5 Pro Box is enough? Absolutely enough what the cable can offer. Absolutely enough. Even probably a 5-year-old cable will do the trick. But just use the PlayStation 5 cable. It's perfect. Just let me read a couple of. We have a million of comments. So again, if you have a question about PlayStation or in general, just put a Q in front. And I mentioned it already in the beginning, but let's do it again for the new viewers. I do not regret buying the PlayStation 5 Pro because I like to test new things. I like to compare new things, but so far the differences are subtle, minor, sometimes not visible at all, in my opinion, especially when you play the game, because this is also something. So on screenshots, when you stand still, it's sometimes much easier to spot a difference in terms of resolution and stuff like that. As soon as you start playing a game and you move around, there is almost no chance that you can see this anymore. The only thing what you feel is probably a higher frame rate. But even then, if you go up from 60 to 70, there's not much of an improvement. But yeah, it's at the moment.
I think if you like to try all the games, and that's what we do, we play almost every game that comes out. If you like to try multiple games, it makes a lot more sense. But there are some gamers. I have someone on the family that just plays like this game, and he would play that for like a year, and then he might play another one. So there are people who just play 1 or 2 games. So for those people, you have to see if that game is going to get enhanced. If it's not going to, then it wouldn't make any difference, because not everyone is just playing everything that comes out.
Nah. I mean, if you ask me if the PlayStation 5 Pro is for you, I can't answer this question. If you have the money to spend, yeah, go for it. If you like to have the best of the best, then yes, you have to spend more money always. That's how it is, because otherwise you can buy a LG C4 instead of G4, but you're not getting the same quality. You're not getting the same HDR picture. So that's why you have to spend always more. But at the moment, my honest opinion is it's not worth the money to upgrade. You know what I mean? That's how it is, because the differences are just too minor, too subtle. It's not like a big difference, like a day and night difference. Unfortunately, I was expecting a little bit more, to be honest, but we need to be fair as well. We need to wait probably until we're getting a game what was more or less built for the PlayStation 5 Pro. So right now we're just seeing unlocked frame rates and a little bit PSSR and stuff like that. So it's probably not showing the full potential of the PlayStation 5 Pro. Probably not. So let me answer this one. PlayStation 5 Pro was advertised as performance and fidelity combined. We see barely any improvement in FPS or graphics. Did we see full capabilities of PSSR already? I would say no. We are not. It's in the beginning. But so what I can tell you for games like Demon Souls, you're getting now the graphic, or cinema mode is it called, cinema mode with 60 FPS. Okay, but on top, the problem with PSSR, it's adding a very, very fine noise, a very fine film grain, or whatever you want to call this. Okay, you have to sit very closely to see the difference, of course, and you can't see it if you're just watching a side by side, or if you just compare between base and PlayStation 5 Pro on your screen. You need to zoom in and stuff like that, but it's there. It's not perfect. Okay, yeah, I don't know. PSSR.
I think the biggest jump that PSSR could have is frame generation, because if that's FSR 4, they should definitely be working right now in adding frame generation to all those games that support PSSR, because that would just be almost double the performance. So I think that will be the biggest difference they can show on the PS5 Pro, is saying now you go from 50 FPS to like 80, or from 60 to like 100 or 90, something like that, with frame gen.
So far the frame gen, the experience what I had, but maybe I tested the wrong games or whatever, was not great, to be honest.
No.
Because he adds so much input lag, but maybe I tested the wrong games, It always needs a little bit, but yeah, you're right. If this works without adding too much input lag and stuff like that, why not? Why you wouldn't have it, Hey, Max Chambliss, how are you?
How's it going, man? He also got a PS5 Pro.
Yes, check out his channel. Okay, here again, check out his channel and leave a like. Adam, will you review the new Amazon Mini LED gaming TV? Nope, I don't think so. No, to be honest, I haven't heard about this. To be honest, no, not planning to do anything in regards like that. We have just let me have a look here. Robert Florence, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is definitely a better experience on a PlayStation 5 Pro. Even many games that have lag run better. Unfortunately, a lot of games are locked at 30 FPS. I mean, with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, when I change between the old graphic modes to the new versatile mode, I think that's the name. I saw a step up in terms of picture sharpness. It's just much sharper. And this was on the PlayStation 5 Pro. I would like to do a test, of course, on the base PlayStation 5. Oh, I did this already, actually. I did this. And there was a little bit more of a difference because lower dynamic resolution and stuff like that. And yes, you have actually now a perfect 60 FPS experience because the base PlayStation 5 was struggling sometimes. It's not a big deal, but yes, it's better on the PlayStation 5 Pro. But again, twice the money, almost twice the money. That's the thing.
And someone is asking who is planning to buy a 50 series car next year. I want to make a video. I love the Jensen presentations. It's so funny in my opinion. I want to make a video dressing like one of these millionaires from Saudi Arabia, and have a bunch of cash on my hand, and then react to the Jensen presentation. So when he says double the something is double, he always doubles everything. I'm like throwing cash 2 times the ray tracing, and throwing cash to the air. It's gonna be fun.
Oh my god, yeah. So what are we predicting? $2,000, $50.90 US dollars?
Man, I hope it's 16. I hope they lower the price, 1,600.
Lower the price. You know that PlayStation 5 Pro costs twice as much, so why would Nvidia? No, of course Nvidia will lower the price. Yes, I'm pretty sure about that. No, this is not gonna happen, Ariel. Everyone, please don't forget to hit that like button. Yeah, thank you very much. Here we have PlayStation 5 Pro, the best choice. If you're happy, then you're happy. That's how it is. That's Hello from the Ukraine. Where does Ariel live?
I'm in the US. I'm no longer in Cuba, so I'm so happy. Yeah, Cuba is terrible. There's no light like for 2 weeks. It's terrible right now. I wouldn't be able to play games right now.
That's of course probably anyway. That's not good. How can 50% more graphic power only be 5 FPS more in enhanced games? So if the game uses PSSR, then you have already a loss, because of PSSR. But I don't know. So maybe it's really because of the CPU.
Yeah, I mean, I can get a 5090 and play the games at 60 FPS. Just increase all the graphics, max out, and if it's already maxed out, I can use DSR and get more pixels. So yeah, but if you have the CPU power, you can get more FPS. It's up to you on the PC. On the PS5 Pro, it seems like they are pushing the graphics to show a difference, because most people are going to notice the quality of the graphics better than a higher FPS, because most people don't play with the FPS counter in the corner or do analysis or something like that.
Okay. Makes sense. What is this here? Is the PS5 Pro I can't a machine than Series X? Would you say Sony has took the crown for most powerful console ever? So I mean, Sony took the crown for the most powerful console ever. I can't understand the rest, actually. Sorry for that. But it's not like a day and night experience. Oh yeah, I have to say, hey Toxmod, how are you doing? I tested this. I know, unfortunately, not many people are interested in Formula One, because I would love to do a side-by-side comparison. This game looks gorgeous now with RT in 60 FPS, and I think it has even a 8K. Does it have 8K 30 or 8K 60 mod?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
So
8K. It does have an 8K 60 mode,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. I can't test this, and probably there's no point to test this, but it looks really, really nice. I mean, the Formula One games anyway looking absolutely fantastic, but now you get such a sharp picture. I really like to do a side-by-side comparison with the base PlayStation 5, but unfortunately, I think it will not get many views, to be honest. So it's probably not worth my time.
To test the 8K, you need to have an 8K display, because the resolution is not going to show on the options on the PS5.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the problem. And I need to have I don't even can't capture 8K with a capturing card.
Yeah,
I don't think so. It will not work.
I mean, for people
need to check.
Most people know this, but 8K is 4 times the resolution, the amount of pixels of 4K. So imagine 4K displays. That's 8K. So the performance is so difficult to get 8K even on the PC. It will be insane, so demanding. And the thing is, I think we need to, for 8K, we definitely need better than TAA and all the blurriness that we have on the games, because then it's not worth it. Why would you push so many pixels and it still looks blurry or overly sharp or something like that?
That's why I'm hoping for. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't know I don't know what to say here, because you're right. I don't know. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a night and day. Yes, I wouldn't say it's a night and day, but it's a big improvement, compared to the base PlayStation 5. I'm wondering if this would be possible on the base PlayStation 5 as well, at least in a 30 FPS mode or whatever. But it's really the game what you should try and compare.
Let me comment on this one. The G4 won HD TV test shootout, which was weird. But let me tell you this. I am so happy that the G4 won. And the reason is, I do not want Samsung to believe that a matte finish was the right move. Thus, the S95D probably has the best, panel ever right now when it comes to consumer displays. It's incredible. That thing can get 3,000 nits, over 3,000 nits actually, 3,100, which is insane. So just imagine 3,000 nits of QD OLED colors. So now you get that fantastic display and you put a matte finish on it, and it's just so wrong. So I would just disqualify the S95D from any of these competitions and tell Samsung, no, do not do that again. That is terrible. So I don't think if I don't believe they have that same opinion or bias, but the people who judge that, I'm sure they noticed that's the S95D and it has a matte finish, and I don't like it because they are like purists and stuff. So I'm so happy that they did that. So yeah. That's
no, you're right. I saw the other day, yesterday I went to JB Hi-Fi here in Australia, and I saw the G4, and G4 looks incredible in this shop, and then the S95D looks not nice. That's the problem. It's a wrong decision. Full stop.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I hope that the S95E, because I would buy Samsung over LG right now because of Game Motion Plus, because of the because of the panel and stuff like that, but not with the finishing. So maybe we need to think about to buy another S95C just in case.
They are going to, yeah, I mean, they are going to jump, I think, to the F. They're gonna skip the E for some reason. So there now it's gonna be the S95F. I hope it is a glossy, but I think it's still going to be the same third generation QD OLED. Maybe they are just going to let it go a little bit higher because they are right now it's 1700 nits or 1650, something like that. The peak brightness out of the box. They have a lot of room because you can get that panel up to 3000 nits. So they can just give you a little bit more brightness up to 2000 and sell you that next year. Then next year, 2500, and then next. So they can keep stretching that for a long time.
So to answering your question, seeing that arrival or DAO, does anyone know how to activate Motion Plus on the S95C if you're using a console, not a PC? Yes, very simple. Disable VRR and disable 120 Hertz. And then you go to your settings menu and you enable Game Motion Plus. But don't enable, you just have to enable shutter. Now there are two options. I forgot about this. You have
deblur and dejutter.
The deblurrer, was it deblurrer 0 and deshutter is 10? Or the other way around?
Deblur, it affects 60 FPS and dejutter 30.
Okay, so okay, one of them you have to put to 10, the other one to 0, and you see a difference, like a night and day difference in my opinion. But you can't use VRR or you can't use 120 Hertz. You can use HDR. That's the good news.
You know one thing, I don't know how Samsung is doing this. I don't understand how that would work. But when you have both max out at 10, if you open the UFO test, you can have two aliens, and one is gonna be at 60 FPS and the other one is gonna be at 30 FPS. If you use dejutter also, they both look the same. I don't know how. So what that means is that the dejutter is also smoothing out the 30 FPS. So I have to test this more. But you know that there are some games that have some stuff running at half FPS, at 30 FPS. So even if it's 60 FPS, there are some things that are at 30. Maybe that's going to smooth those out, and you're not going to notice that there are some 30 FPS stuff, or it's not going to look as stuttery. I have to test this more to find a good example, but yeah.
So new and old is writing PS5 Pro PSSR is a beta test for PlayStation 6. Why do you think they didn't update the CPU? They must have stats showing that the CPU is the main problem for higher frames. I mean, we know that the CPU can be the problem. Yes. And of course, I'm agreeing. So the thing is why they didn't update the CPU. Yes, because they like to show more on the PlayStation 6, of course. It's very clear. But I would love that they actually tweak the CPU a little bit better. But let's wait for Dragon Dogmas 2, my side-by-side comparison, hopefully this evening. I just actually almost finished the PlayStation 5 Pro testing, and I'm now going to the base PlayStation 5 testing. And I don't know what the frame rate, what I can expect. I'm really looking forward to do this because then I think Dragon Dogma is a very good CPU bounded test game for this. And if it comes up, so I did Baldur's Gate 3 in the city, and it's almost exactly the same. You have maybe maximum 5 FPS more, maximum, you know what I mean? But most of the time, very similar because CPU bounded, But
and
you
on
can
the PC,
clearly see
it is CPU bound on the CD2 because I didn't play it that much. On the PC, is it heavy on the CPU there?
Yeah, it's also. But of course, nowadays with newer CPUs, you have no problems anymore. But it drops also, of course, significantly the frames, So, and what I found is Baldur's Gate is very it shows it's CPU bounded because when you walk out of the city and you can clearly see that the CPU, or it's getting better in performance in general. The PlayStation 5 Pro increases the frame rate faster than the base PlayStation 5, and it hits 60 FPS much faster. So you can see it's really about CPU.
Interesting.
But yeah,
let me answer this question here. Isn't the S90C dimmer? And if we can afford 77-inch S95C, then why 77-inch S90C? Well, let me tell you this. I got an S90C, and unfortunately, it is a first-generation QD OLED. On the 65-inch and 55 is a lottery. But the 77-inch is 100% second-generation QD OLED. So definitely get the S90C 77-inch over the S95C, because you're not going to have any One Connect box dropouts, potential issues. And the sound of my S95C, I'm not sure if mine is broken. Actually, I'm about to call them and see if I can get a replacement, because the sound is completely broken. And the thing is, I don't care too much because I'm not gonna use the sound. I wouldn't use the sound of the TV, but I'm gonna have that upstairs for the family, and they do care about the TV sound. And it's broken. It's buzzing like crazy. It's like every time.
That's the stupid back from the TV. I noticed the same.
You notice the same on yours?
Yeah, just go to the sound setting and decrease the bass, and then you will see it's suddenly better. It's crap. Samsung is crap.
It is so terrible. Now, the S90C, I max out the volume, no issues, and it's actually louder too. I mean, you have the same now. The performance out of the box, the 95C is gonna be brighter, for sure. But if you're willing to go to the service menu, you can increase the S90C to the S95C level at least. And that's a no-brainer. You're not risking anything doing that other than warranty and all that stuff. But when it comes to risking the panel, it has the same panel as the S95C. Samsung is restricting it by software. So that's a no-brainer, in my opinion.
So this at the moment, this comment, yes, I'm saying twice the money because I'm not taking into consideration, of course, that you're selling your PlayStation 5. Yeah, of course, if you do that, of course, it doesn't come. But what are you getting for a used PlayStation 5? You're not getting half of the money. What are you getting? So just to look here at the moment. So in JB Hi-Fi Australia, the PlayStation 5 Slim would cost you 679 Australian dollars. Okay, 679. So the PlayStation 5 Pro cost you $1,200, 1,200. So yes, it's not twice the price, almost. So you're not getting a disk drive with any PlayStation. If you like to have the PlayStation with disk drive, you would need to pay $800 for the base, and also, of course, $1,200 plus at least $160 for the disk drive if you can find one. So it is twice the price, if you're not selling your old system. And I didn't sell my old system because I need to test it, And if you now start to think about, or should I get a PlayStation in general, and you decide in between, let's say base or the Slim and the Pro, it's double the price, huh? It is twice the money.
Yeah, I don't like to sell my stuff, man, because the thing is, you're gonna lose a lot of
you're not getting the money back.
Value. Yeah, you're not getting a lot.
You're not at all. It doesn't matter because how much. So it's 700 Australian dollars here. I can maybe sell it. Sorry. Maybe I can sell it for $300-400. I wouldn't pay $400 for a used PlayStation 5 if I can get a brand new one for $700. But why would I do that? No, sorry. This is. I don't know if you can trade it in and something like that. It would be interesting. What you get actually, but yeah, it's still twice the money, between base and the new PlayStation 5. What do we have here? Just give me a second. We have so many comments. So again, if you have a question, ask the question. So this one, Baldur's Gate 3 looks so much better on a Pro, but still struggles in Act 3. So I try to actually point this out that we have now much better shadows. You know, there's no shimmering, no flickering on shadows anymore, and in general the resolution is slightly higher. But again, with YouTube, it's so hard. Actually, it's so hard. Maybe I need to do this. I need to get actually two similar TVs and record them at the same time with the base and the Pro, because then maybe it makes more sense. But the thing is, you know, you switch from the base to the Pro, and you have the feeling that you have a step up a little bit. Okay, so tiny bit step up in resolution, sharpness, and stuff like that. But it's not like a day and night difference. Again, not at all.
Hey, do you mind if I answer this question? I know, you know, we have like probably two separate audiences here with
That's okay.
you know, some from TV stuff and from the PS5. But let me answer this question. Ariel, I just did the mod for the TV to get more brightness and everything looks amazing, but you mentioned to disable ABL. Is it necessary? So we cannot disable ABL on these TVs because it's a power restriction. So ABL is you get less brightness if you have a bigger window size. So when you have a smaller window size, it's brighter. And the bigger it gets, you get less brighter because it's the same amount of power available. So we cannot disable that. What I disable is the dimming. When you have a static image, I disable that so it doesn't get dim. So if I'm doing a side-by-side comparison and showing you a picture, it doesn't start dimming. But that's not necessary. It protects the TV. If you forget and you go somewhere else, you have a game pause and then you go somewhere and then you come back and you forgot. I don't think it's a big problem. You can just leave it like it is. But I like to disable it just in case it starts dimming for other reason that is not a static image.
Am I disappointed in Alan Wake 2 update? I mean, look, no, yes, but no. I was expecting in general a little bit more from the PlayStation 5 Pro. Okay, in general, the Alan Wake update is noticeable because on the base PlayStation 5, I think the performance mode, and that's the only mode I can play actually, because 30 FPS, again, different story, but no one should be playing in 30 FPS. But the performance mode was very bad in terms of shimmering, flickering on edges, on fences, or very, very sharp objects. I don't like this at all. I like to have a clean picture. The PlayStation 5 Pro version is actually making this a lot better. A lot better. You have very, very minor flickering and shimmering, but it comes with a price to pay because you have actually slightly less FPS. So with a VRR display, it's still okay. You fall outside the VRR range in certain situations, but it's still manageable in my opinion. But I was expecting a little bit more. But it's an okay update. It's not perfect, but it's the minimum I would expect actually.
I want to comment on this from Neo Codex. He says, I don't have anyone to gift a PS5 to. People complaining about price, then giving away their $500 console. Okay. So I think that's the best thing you could do, actually. Just give it away to some, like a family member or a friend. That's an awesome gift if you get the new one. It's not going to be profitable for you, but I think, when we buy something new for ourselves, it feels great. But I think it feels even better when you give some. So give is better than receive, in my opinion. If you've never experienced gifting something big to someone, you should definitely try it, because forget about being generous. Even if you are selfish for yourself, I guarantee you it's going to feel absolutely amazing. And I gifted a PS5 to a family of 2 kids, a friend of mine, and those kids just went crazy and they recorded a video for me. And yeah, I have that video like a treasure. The reaction of the kids, it doesn't have a price. So yeah, if you can gift your old PS5 and get the Pro, you get double the reward. That's my opinion.
So No, he's right. But my only comment is get children on your own, and you see that everything comes with a price.
For sure. But then you have something good and you have a problem. So
because
Those-
you're
those two
getting them
things.
a Xbox Series S and asking why no PlayStation 5. No, but I get you. Absolutely, you're right. Absolutely. This one here, J Mac. How do you guys feel about Samsung 32 Odyssey OLED G8? 4K 240 and 0.0. Wow, I have no idea about this monitor. Haven't tested it, to be honest. I'm not in the position to test all the new stuff, you know what I mean? And that's how it is, but it sounds good. But I mean, it's an OLED at the end, you know. The most important question would be for me, how is HDR? 240 hertz sounds fantastic, but I have here already. Here, this one here is a 240 hertz OLED screen, 27 inch, and it's fantastic. It's absolutely ridiculous, you know, but this PC
How
doesn't
many
support.
games? Yeah, how many games can you play at 240 frames per second?
It's a 3070. Yeah.
Oh, with a 3070, yeah, no way.
Yeah. Some games,
Yeah.
but you know, it's not the point for this PC here. But
yeah, one thing I want to say, don't forget about the milliseconds advertisement that they do. I don't know why they keep pushing that. It's just it seems like they know a lot of people have been trained to believe that input lag is so important, and you should definitely look at that number. And they even lie about these input lag numbers. It's irrelevant. Of course, 240 hertz OLED is amazing. You're not gonna have any input lag. That's worth mentioning at that frame rate. But that's not the selling point. The selling point of 240 hertz OLED is 4 milliseconds of persistence, equal to 4 pixels of motion blur when moving at 1000 pixels per second, or basically it's gonna look perfectly clear if you open the UFO test and you change the speed to 240 pixels per second, which is now very fast on screen if you have a 4K display, but it's a lot better than 120. And I think that's the point of diminishing returns for most people. 240 FPS on an OLED is gonna be as good as they can notice all the time. And more than that, a lot of people might not even care, unless you're a competitive player. So I think that's the sweet spot when it comes to motion and input lag and all of that. The thing is, how can you get 240 frames per second?
5090. But I'm looking forward actually to get all the games, you know, played, if I can afford a 5090 in 120 hertz. Because jumping from 60 to 120 is also a big step. It is not as big as 30 to 60, but it is, you know.
Honestly, I am more excited about the 5090 or which new technology are they going to come up with. Because, yeah, it's going to be like 30% faster than the 4090 at least. But are they going to invent something new that works for every game? That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
If they say, you know what? What I want is asynchronous reprojection at the driver level. So basically, we could have all the games, no matter what your GPU is capable to render, even if it's just 30 FPS. We could have all the games hit the maximum refresh rate you have. So if you have 240 hertz, the games, so basically your GPU is delivering 240 FPS to your display, no matter what, with perfect input lag. And the only difference is going to be you get less artifacts if your GPU is powerful enough to render more frames. That's what I would really want. So in that way, we solve completely the performance on the PC. And actually, the stutters might be invisible with asynchronous reprojection, which is nuts. So you can basically fix performance completely with asynchronous reprojection. So if NVIDIA comes out with that, and AI at the driver level, and it works for every game, I am buying that day one, and I don't care how much it costs. That's what I'm excited about.
That's a statement.
Yeah.
So Robert Lawrence, is the S95C the one with the anti-glare mate screen? I've seen a side-by-side comparison with that one, I believe, and off-angle light completely blurs out the image on screen compared to without mate.
That's the D. The S95D is the one that has the matte.
Yeah. So the C is more similar to the LG, more similar, but it still has not as perfect. It's not a clear. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more matte finish, but it's still absolutely fantastic. The S90C, S95C is a no-brainer. To be honest, because as soon you have a decent lighting, which you should have when you watch TV anyway, there's no difference anymore between my LG G2 CX or the S95C. No difference.
Yeah,
What's
I
your
was
experience?
very concerned about that. Very concerned. On a dark room, if the issue is there, I don't see it. I don't really care too much, honestly. My main concern was, even on a dark room, I was going to lose the micro contrast that these LG screens have, because with the brightness of the TV, I was thinking the TV is so bright, it's lighting up the room. So then that light is affecting the black floor. I don't see it. I've been looking for it. I don't see it.
No.
So
it's just a no-brainer to get a S95C or S90C over any LG at the moment with this price. You know, if you can get for half the price like Ariel did, there's you don't need to think about it. There's no problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible.
Here, this one. PlayStation 5 Pro have same limited HDMI walkthrough 32 gigabyte like PlayStation 5. Yeah, Xbox Series have HDMI 2.140 gigabit full RGB for the okay. I mean, look, we talked about this so many times. I can't see a big of a disadvantage here, because you would need to show me actually proof that you can see a difference between 420 and full RGB in a game, to be very honest. And I tried to do this. I made a video and I tried to point out.
Your video was very good. You did show some differences on the highlights and near black. The difference is there. It was very hard to see. I'm going to try, now that I have these two TVs side by side, I'm gonna try to see if I can compare them, because I can do it with pictures. I can have an HDR picture in one TV, and I can have the settings of that TV on the GPU different from the other one, because my GPU has two HDMI outputs. So to see if I can notice any difference, I'm gonna try that.
There's no doubt. If we would have the full RGB option, this would be the best. There's no doubt about that. Okay, but again, I think people making too much out of that, to be very honest. That's my opinion.
So we have a super chat here. What was the most noticeable for me was Anapic 1023 was in SDR. So he's talking about you go to the service menu on these Samsung TVs and you can get more brightness. He's saying on SDR the difference was more noticeable, but for HDR the difference was only in the highlights. As for 100% full screen, not too much. So thank you very much for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. So the thing is, HDR, if you are using accurate settings, HDR is supposed to look exactly the same up to the maximum peak brightness of that display. So in the proof of that, I show you side by side the S90C out of the box versus the S95C with 2000 nits. And you couldn't see the difference on almost any of the examples I show. Why? Because I show examples that are 1000 nits. The max CLL is 1000 nits. They look exactly the same. And the only difference was you could definitely see higher full screen brightness on the S95C, because when you do the mod, you also get more full screen brightness. How much more? Like 50, 60 nits more, which is significant. Definitely a difference. But for SDR, you can always make everything bright all the time. And yeah, you definitely gonna see the difference more on SDR because you're raising the brightness of everything. It's like a dynamic or active tone mapping effect. Now, if you enjoy that, go for it, man. It looks amazing to you. I personally, I prefer to be most of the time look at it with normal brightness. So then the highlights are impressive. The highlights are like, wow, look at this. But all the time bright loses the effect for me. You get used to it, and then it's not impressive anymore. That's what I feel. So I never use SDR at all. But go for it, man. It's enjoy that. It's your TV. It looks insane.
Expect from Microsoft as a new competitive console. Should they go the handheld pass instead? No, don't buy handheld. We have a Switch for this, Nintendo for handhelds. To be honest, there's no way that anyone can compete against Nintendo. And I would like to see a new console from Microsoft, no doubt about that. And I'm pretty sure it looks like we're getting something next year. And it will be then probably the most powerful console again, because that's how it is, and I'm looking forward to it. And I will do exactly, because this is interesting. I need to say this. I was called a PlayStation 5 fanboy or shill or whatever because I just released PlayStation 5 Pro videos. That's the news at the moment, okay? There's nothing from Microsoft. I don't understand you guys sometimes. Now, not you guys here, but some people are just, I don't know. Are you brainwashed sometimes? So there
competition is so important.
Death Stranding was released, Shadow release on the Xbox, and people say, "Oh, you should do a video about that." Why? I can do a video about PlayStation 5 Pro game, enhanced game, which gets me, I don't know, 30,000 views, or I'm talking about a 7-year-old game, which no one cares anymore. So I say this: I'm not a PlayStation 5 shield. This is at the moment what is happening. Yeah. If there would be an Xbox, I would do videos about Xbox. I don't care about the brand, but this is at the moment where I can do testing, and no worries. As soon Xbox is releasing a console or Switch 2, I will get it. I will absolutely get it. No questions asked.
I think it's very bad for us, for the gaming industry in general, that Xbox. I heard Phil Spencer say, "We don't care where you play your games, just buy Game Pass." That's terrible because with no competition and Sony, releasing the consoles and not having competition from Xbox, they can price the console or whatever they want, and no competition is just gonna be terrible for consumers. Things get better and cheaper when you have competition. It's that simple. So I hope that they don't drop the ball in the console war, because Microsoft, I mean, what was the last Xbox game that was a big hit and it was awesome? I mean, the games that they have in the works, Fable. It looked terrible. I saw a trailer. That thing looks absolutely horrendous. And I was actually hoping to get a good Fable game because I like a lot the previous one. It was awesome. It was very
the main
nice
problem
game.
what I have with Xbox, and I made this. So first of all, in my opinion, the Xbox is still the better overall console when it comes to user friendly, okay? Because it just offers so many features, like better VRR, always 120 hertz option, stuff like that. It's just way better in my opinion. The problem what I'm having with Xbox is that there are no exclusive games, because all the games are on the PC as well, and this is the main difference to PlayStation. No, don't come with, oh, you get the games on PC right now as well from the PlayStation 5, but a year later or 2 years later or 3 years later. So I don't care. It's not exclusive on the Xbox. So they would need to have this actually to sell more, in my opinion. I mean, Game Pass is a nice feature. It's really great actually, but exclusive games are selling consoles, in my opinion.
You see, I don't like exclusive, of course, because I have a PC, but I'm okay if Sony pays for the development of a game completely, and that's their game. I'm okay if it's exclusive to the PS5. What I don't like is when they start going to, Call of Duty or whatever, any other game, and they say, hey, we're going to pay you, so we have your game only for this time before you can release it or something like that, that's terrible, in my opinion. But definitely the exclusive games from the PlayStation are the best games. Most of them are the best games. So if that's what it takes to get good games, I am okay with it, and I am waiting 1 or 2 years just to play a great game. So yeah.
This one is good. Man, we need an NVIDIA console. Actually, it would be great to have DLSS on board.
I'm telling
Oh
you,
my
if Nvidia
goodness.
makes a console, it's game over. There's no way
Mhm.
they're gonna compete with that. The thing is,
Yeah,
I don't know if they have the. I mean, they would need to buy studios and do a huge investment, and I don't think Nvidia needs that. They don't even care too much
nah,
about gaming anymore. They are making so much money with the AI stuff, and you see it all the time on their conferences. It's all about AI and AI, and yeah, they don't care too much about it gaming anymore. Honestly.
I know. That's the problem, yeah. So let me just, what do we have here more? So by the way, if you have more questions about PlayStation 5 Pro, I made my statement already. I think for the casual player, it's no point to buy the PlayStation 5 Pro or upgrade to the base PlayStation 5 Pro, because it's just too expensive for what it is offering. That's my opinion. That's my verdict after a little bit over a week, and after testing heaps of games and really comparing games, not just what other people doing, switching between a PlayStation 5 base and Pro on the TV, and it takes 5 minutes to set this up, and then say, oh, I see a day and night difference. No, it's not like that. You have to do a proper side-by-side comparison. Then you realize, oh, it's actually less than I was expecting. It's not that you can't see it, but for the money what you have to pay, it's not worth it, in my opinion. So if you're a casual player, or if you don't even have a high-end TV or monitor, don't buy the PlayStation 5 Pro. It doesn't make sense at this very moment. Maybe in a year, maybe you have more games which are hopefully showing the power of the PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm just reading. Or is Switch 2 runs on NVIDIA? Is the new Switch confirmed to have an NVIDIA chip?
Yeah, I mean the first one has it, so I mean the 2 should have it too. Yeah.
But do you think they can use
and
DLSS then?
that might be a huge jump. Yeah, and maybe even frame generation, because if it has a 120 hertz OLED screen, and they can do frame generation, so it'll be 60 to 100. That's gonna make a huge difference. Now the thing is, Nintendo doesn't care too much about graphics, but you have Zelda, and that's a game that deserves a lot better graphics and performance. It is sad to have such a great game locked to that handheld device. Is a shame. On emulation on the PC is just so much better. So yeah, hopefully they can. It will also be better for emulation, I think,
Of
if
course.
they focus on that.
So what's a fair price for the PlayStation 5 Pro? The fair price is what you're happy to pay for it. I don't know. If you're happy with the price, then buy it. Look, it's very hard because I bought the PlayStation 5 Pro mainly because of doing testing. If I would be a casual gamer and I would just play games once in a while, because that's what I can do, and I would now have spent $1,400, something like that, here in Australia, to have a PlayStation 5 Pro plus disk drive plus the stand, I would be mad because I can't see the big upgrade. Okay, so it's not there at the moment, but it's up to you. If you like it, go for it. It's not worse than the PlayStation 5. Okay. Oh, this one here. Gaming Tech. How many games you beat this year? 0. Absolutely 0. Because no time.
The last one I beat was Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'm going through Star Wars. It's great. I'm liking it a lot. Yeah, Red Dead was like very difficult to go from Red Dead Redemption 2 to a different game. I'm gonna play the first part, and actually I'm glad that the first part seems to be a continuation of the second part. So it's an older game, but it actually happens after the events of the first
Okay.
part, which is nice. So that first is coming at a perfect time for me. But
That's
yeah,
good.
Red Dead is such a great game when it comes to
It's
story.
game of the year, whatever
Yeah,
you
I
want to
mean
call it,
that's
game.
it was so good.
So SB Digital, I don't regret upgrading to the PlayStation 5 Pro at all. I mean, me neither, because I'm not saying I'm happy to spend 1,400 Australian dollars just to have a minor upgrade. I'm not. I'm happy because that's what I like to do. I like to spend my money on stuff like that. Other people going on holidays 5 times a year. Okay, other people buying I don't know new car tires every year. You know what I mean? I like to spend my money on that. So I don't regret buying it. I'm just telling you it's not worth the money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's how it is.
Yeah, for people like us that we are all about the small differences, it's a no-brainer. You have to have it, especially if you already have so many PS5 games on your library, PlayStation games in general. So yeah.
Yeah, Ryan. So I'm pretty sure you're right. It's the HD 599 SE, but I'm not 100% sure anymore if it was. So I bought it. It's more probably a couple of months old. It's brand new, and I love it. If you're asking this, it's much better than this one here. That's also actually Sennheiser, but this is a more or less gaming headset, which is fine, but this is, and it was not expensive, not at all, below 200 Australian dollars. Why is the PlayStation 5 Pro more expensive in Australia? In Europa, where I live, it's 800 euros because we're so rich here. That's why. No, I don't know, because everything is more expensive here. Everything is more expensive except housing. Okay, that's not true anymore. But when I came here, housing was very, very affordable compared to Europe. I would not be able to afford a house in Europe, but it was, I wouldn't say simple, but it was easy to afford a house here. But all the electronic stuff is we're paying over 5,000 Australian dollars for an LG G4 65-inch, 5,300 to be very precise.
Wow, that's
crazy.
Yeah, I mean the TV deals here in the US are just insane, especially over this. But for these days, Black Friday is like incredible. I mean, in the US, honestly, it doesn't make any sense to buy a monitor because monitors don't get this kind of discounts at all.
Oh, okay, yeah.
TVs are so the value is insane with TVs here.
So AAA is asking, yes, of course I make it past the first hour because I have to test games. So, but it's not like, so the thing is, of course, I have to play and test certain locations, but that's it then. Maybe I see 2 hours, 3 hours of the game, and that's it, And sometimes, of course, I play a little bit more. I started yesterday Demon Souls again, and I know why I hate this game now. It's just
It's tough.
it's so annoying.
So for me, those are the games I like to play, and they are very difficult, and I lose a lot. And the thing is, I'm playing right now Lies of P. I am almost at the end. Elden Ring, I am almost at the end. Still Rising, almost at the end. So I play multiple of those. Also, Thymesia, I'm in the final boss. Like I've been a year, I haven't been able to beat that guy. But the problem is, you need to get fine-tuned with those games, and then when you're playing all of them at the same time, you forget, you get rusty, and it becomes even more difficult to beat the boss. Also, Lords of the Fallen, I'm also playing that. I'm not at the end.
Okay.
I'm actually at the beginning.
So that's
yeah.
actually a good comment. So why don't you guys play during the live stream and leave the chat to be read out by text to speech and just enjoy and we watch you play with a technical perspective? See the tech experts actually game. Sounds good. The problem with StreamYard is as simple it is to set up. StreamYard has a terrible quality. I'm watching my streams sometimes from StreamYard, just to check, and it's 1080p, and those 1080p is looking terrible. such a low bit rate and stuff like that. So we would need to get a proper quality. We would need to set up OBS, because OBS is just wow in terms of streaming. But then it's a problem with all the super chats, with all the comments in general, with getting someone on board, like Ariel. It's a mess then, you know what I mean? So yeah, I get it. It would be fun, but with StreamYard, not possible from the quality. And I don't want to do this. I tried it. It's terrible quality. You can't even show anything. It's nah.
Also, I can barely keep up with those comments. Imagine if I'm playing a game just by speaking. Just it's so tough. But yeah, I definitely want to try just playing some games and streaming when I have a chance.
So what does it mean actually? Australia wages are dog water compared to US. What does mean dog water compared to US?
Yeah, they're bad.
Are they bad?
Yeah,
I would say it depends what you're doing, huh? As in any other country. That's I would say. So so to be very honest, compared to my German income, I earn much more here now, and I pay less tax. So tax is way less compared to Germany, way less. So I can't complain at all. But you're right. So in general, Australia is not a cheap country, not anymore. So with food prices, they're skyrocketing everywhere. I'm not even start talking about gas or electricity. It's like it's everywhere. Petrol. It's stop.
I mean, honestly, for me, I feel like I am living the dream. This is a paradise, in my opinion. I couldn't care less about any of the problems. Nothing is perfect, but the US is such a great country, man. This is amazing. The abundance here. This is so awesome. Just the abundance we have here. I feel like I am rich no matter what. It doesn't matter what happens. I'm rich just by being here.
Oh my God. Come on, be honest. We are bloody rich. Look what we can afford and stuff like that. We are bloody rich. Of course, we're not rich, but we can. No, we are very fortunate, very, very lucky. I mean, comes with hard work. It's not that someone is throwing the money at us, of course. It comes with hard work, but we are very, very lucky to be at this position. Full stop. That's how it is. I'm very grateful. SB Digital Gaming Tech, your TV looks absolutely amazing in the background. Beautiful display. LG G6 in the background. No, G2. Just the G2. Still the G2 rocking absolutely fine. Has almost a brand new panel in, couple of hours, of course, now on, but they replaced the panel a couple of months ago, maybe a year. Can't remember.
We have another super chat. I'm clicking on it, but it's not going through.
Wait. Thank you very much again, Face. Devs had retrofitted patches into games that are already released on the Pro. When they start developing games with the Pro in mind, there will be a bigger difference, especially with Unreal Engine 5 games. I hope so. I hope you're absolutely right. And I think if you can use because we have more RT performance, we have faster RAM, stuff like that. We have more RAM actually, compared to the PlayStation 5, the base one. So they can, if they taking this into consideration, why did I click on? If they're taking this into consideration, then yes, we should see a bigger difference. And I hope to see this. But right now, to be honest, maybe with everything, you can wait a little bit and you probably get the PlayStation 5 Pro cheaper at some point. Thank you very much again for your super chat.
I think Sony, Nvidia, all these companies, they should focus a lot in Unreal Engine to improve things because a lot of games are on Unreal Engine. I mean, I would say at least 70% of the games that I play are on Unreal Engine. So there is just so many games. If they figure out a way to improve just in general every single Unreal Engine game, they are solving, they are giving a lot of value. So whatever, they should definitely figure out something specifically for Unreal Engine, like something like, okay, PSSR always work for all Unreal Engine games. Boom, that's just a huge selling point right there. Or I don't know, frame generation works now on the PS5 Pro for all Unreal Engine games or something, or HDR or something like that. It's like, for example, when I discovered this HDR that works for Unreal Engine games, this major Paint the Cactus add-on, it has been a game changer for me because it is like almost every game I play, I can use that.
Yeah. Let me answer this one. So he's asking where I am from, actually, from Germany. So I'm living. I used to live close to Munich in Germany, very close to Munich. And the reason why I moved or migrated to Australia was because it was time for something new. And no, I will never go back. Never ever. I will never go back to Germany. I will probably go somewhere else, but not go back to Germany.
What is bad about it? What is that you don't like? The
Tax,
weather?
the life-work balance, all the stuff. It's not good anymore. It was already bad back then in terms of, I mean, look, it always depends what you're doing and stuff like that. But if the work-life balance is a complete different one. If you like to earn a lot of money or earn good money and you are in a position like, let's say, manager and stuff like that, you have to offer a lot. You have to sacrifice a lot in Germany in terms of work-life balance. That's what I had to do to get a decent income. It was good income, above average, don't get me wrong, but you have to sacrifice a lot. Here in Australia, you get a very good income with the knowledge what I have, technical engineer background, and I don't have to sacrifice anything because family first, family leisure time first here. It's great. I like it. Never go back.
Awesome. Do you have coast? Do you have coast Adelaide that has like water or somewhere?
Yeah. Maybe half an hour from here.
Oh, nice.
Nice beaches. And if you go, maybe, let's say, because I'm living a little bit further away from the city because it's cheaper, obviously. But if you go, and also the closer you get to the coast, of course, you pay more for houses. But if you go, let's say maybe an hour. If you drive an hour, you come to beaches where almost no people are, and you have this white sand stuff. You know what I mean? Like in the Caribbean. Nice. I'm not kidding. It's really beautiful, but I spend so much time with this stuff, so no time for beaches.
That's awesome. Let me answer this.
It's off topic, yeah.
This comment here, he said, I don't like Sony and Android. Panasonic is great, but don't like the design. So for me, is the G4. The G4 is the best to get, or how I said C4 or S90D. So I think my only comment there is between the C4 and the S90D, I will get the S90D. It's brighter and more colorful. It's that simple, and it's probably cheaper too. So that's a no-brainer in my opinion.
And even a comparison C4 versus S90D. The only thing is always the coating, the reflection.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah, if you're gonna be using under lighting conditions, the C4 is gonna be the best. Even better than the G4 because it doesn't have the MLA. But that's the only thing. But in a dark room, yeah.
Yeah. More comments. Yeah, this one here. Unreal Engine needs help ASAP. Yeah. I agree. But Fortnite looks fantastic, I have to say.
How is Fortnite on the Pro? Is it higher FPS?
I downloaded it, and it is apparently PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced, but I'm not sure if I'm doing a comparison. I don't know if anyone will watch this, but it looks amazing.
It's massive. Fortnite is very popular.
Hey, I know, but not on our channel, probably. You get my point? You know what I mean? Okay. You get my point. So, this one is for you.
Ariel, which TV do you use for gaming? Well, I don't know now because I have like 70s. Well, I'm gonna be keeping the S90C just because of the screen size. Although when I discovered that it has the first generation QD OLED, I was like, oh man. But the thing is, the price was so good, and if I ask for a replacement, it is probably coming from the same place, and it is most likely going to be the same first generation panel. And what I don't want to risk is the screen uniformity. I did a video comparing the screen uniformity of this. It depends specifically on how lucky you get, basically. Comparing this S90C 65-inch with the S95C 55-inch, and the difference is huge. This S90C is like perfect. It's like absolutely flawless screen uniformity. So yeah, 2000 nits is better. I can see the difference side by side. I already went into the service menu of the S90C and got 1500 nits. The biggest difference I see is the ABL. Full screen brightness is a very big difference between this first generation QD OLED and the second generation QD OLED. But screen uniformity is also important, and I do not want to let go of this one just because of that. And I think it's more interesting for the channel that I have two different panels that I can compare.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people with the S95B or even the C with the first generation. So I'm happy with it. So that's probably going to be my main TV.
So this is an interesting question. Marcus, are you as technical as gaming when you watch movies? No, not at all. Because when I watch a movie, I just like to enjoy. But I immediately see if there's something not adding up with HDR, of course. But I just ignore it because there's nothing. And I just focus on the movie, to be honest.
Yeah, I watched yesterday. For the first time, I saw Dolby Vision on my LG C1. I watched I watched the Mike Tyson fight on Netflix, and I was watching it on the Fire Stick, and it has an option to always force HDR for everything, and it's actually Dolby Vision. It was great. It was so good. Actually, I've never seen any sporting event that looked better than that. It was just looking amazing. I don't know if they were also upscaling to 4K, because I don't believe that was 4K from the source, but it just looked absolutely incredible. So yeah, there was a long time since I watched something that was not gaming on the TV.
Dagny is asking, with NVIDIA transitioning from GeForce Experience to new NVIDIA app, which has one-click optimized game settings for your PC and even latest patches, is it time to invest in a good PC or PlayStation 5 Pro? That's very hard to answer because I don't know, what do you prefer more? Because it's still more installing patches and optimizing games and looking if the game runs perfect on a PC than on the PlayStation 5. If you like to just turn on and just play half an hour and an hour quickly, then console is always better than PC, in my opinion. But if you like to have the best graphical quality and stuff like that, then you have to invest in a good PC, which costs you a lot more than a PlayStation 5 Pro, which is also the truth.
I think also at this point, the consoles are so good that one of the biggest reasons to get a PC is if you're one of those people like me, for example, that, if a game has chromatic aberration, I'm not playing it unless there is a mod to remove that. And I don't care how many FPS I am getting. So if you are that person who are like bothered or like, okay, I'm not even playing the game if it has over sharpening or something like that, then on the console you cannot change those kind of stuff. You have it is what it is. You get what you get. So then it doesn't matter. So that would be a big reason to get a PC over the console.
So that's tough question. OLED or plasma? Plasma. Absolutely.
The thing is the price. If you have a budget PC or an older console, a $25 plasma TV or even free, that's unbeatable. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. But yeah, of course, correct. OLED is far superior. The only thing that OLEDs are not better at is if they are 120 hertz only and they don't have 120 BFI or something like that, they are not going to be better in motion than the plasmas. When you move the camera, the plasma is going to be more clear. But that's about it.
So this one, we haven't talked about noise or coil whining at all. My PlayStation 5 Pro is absolutely quiet. I know that many people are complaining about the noise. I don't know what the disk drive is noisy, because my base or my launch PlayStation 5 is doing exactly the same noise. I mean, when the disk is spinning, it makes a noise. There's no difference at all. You know what I mean? So, and my Pro is absolutely fine. You can hear maybe sometimes when I put my ear on the console, when you have 120 FPS games, you can hear maybe like on Nvidia cards. You can hear this, noise. Yeah. So the higher the frame rate.
So there's more noise with a higher frame rate.
But I have to really go close to the console.
No, but I mean the
disc.
Yes. The disc?
No, not the disc. The coal wine.
Oh, okay.
The disc is the same. It's the same. Absolutely. But it's quiet. There's no problem at all. The fan is noticeable when you put your ear on it, but it's absolutely fine. So no problem.
Was thinking. I thought for a moment.
The disk drive.
I thought for the moment, double the SPS, so it's gonna rotate faster. Double the speed on that.
No, but that's the AAA. I disagree there. It's not more noisy than the base PlayStation 5. There's no difference. Not for my console. It's actually absolutely the same. As soon you put a disc in and you install the game or whatever, it's noisy. When you start up a game with disc, it's noisy because it's the disc drive. But it's not the PlayStation 5 Pro. Okay?
Yeah, let me comment on this. First generation QD OLEDs are bad for burning. I would not even overdrive it. I don't care. And and the reason is the way I use the TV. I think I am an expert babysitter when it comes to taking care of the TV for no burning. So one of the things that I do that I think is very effective is I change the size of everything with the scaling. So display scaling, I have it at 125%, then I change it to 150, then 200, and I go back and forth. So it's all the time changing. For games, I don't like HUD elements anyway. There's no way I'm playing a game that has a very bright HUD just because it bothers me. Forget about burning. And I'm always playing different kind of games, different content. I like to play one mission or two, then I jump to a different game. I just enjoy it that way. So it is very, very unlikely that I'm going to suffer burning. Something else is going to break, is what I believe, not burning.
Modesty Blaze is asking, have you tried the Lies of P Pro patch? No, I haven't, actually. I haven't. I'm sorry for that. I'm working on Dragon Dogmas 2, PlayStation 5 Pro versus base PlayStation 5, but I haven't tested the game actually at all on the base PlayStation 5. So I'm looking forward to do this maybe this afternoon, and maybe I can release late night the video, but it's a lot of testing. It's a lot of testing. And by the way, ray tracing is broken in this game.
I am stalking in Lies of P fighting with a giant that has I thought it had an infinite health bar or something, because I'm hitting it and the health is not going down at all. And I was like, okay, I don't want to do this right now. And I've been, and so then I discovered that when you hit it a lot, then the health suddenly does boom. It gets like a bleeding effect or something like that. So yeah, I'll see if I can beat it finally, but I've been stuck with it for a while.
Okay. So Greg is asking an interesting question. I know the answer to this. Who will win a boxing match between Ariel and Marcus? Ariel.
I'm black belt in karate, man.
Fucking hell. So he will absolutely win. First of all, he is 25 years younger, roughly. And I haven't done any. Yeah, I'm 47, and I haven't done any sport. My goodness, I play every Monday tennis. That's it. That's all.
Oh, that's nice. I play tennis too. Are you good, or just play it for fun?
No, I just play for fun. You know what I mean?
I'm not that good, but there was a point. I used to live close to the headquarters in Cuba. We are not very good at tennis at all, but I had some friends in the national team, so I was good enough to return the ball for them, just to train with them a little bit, not to win a match or anything like that. But I got into it and I learned how to play left-handed, right-handed, two hands, backhand, one hand. I do the surf with both hands, and so I got very into it, and I like it a lot. Tennis.
Tennis is nice, yeah, but I'm not as, just for fun. You know what I mean?
You know what I wanted to
But
buy? A machine that
oh, okay,
fires
yes,
the
yes.
balls for you, man. That's so awesome. It's $2,000. The one I wanted to buy. So the thing is, because the weather was not very nice, I was living in
Okay.
Wisconsin. I'm like, I can only use this for like 5 months of the year, so it's not very compelling to spend that much money and not being able to use it. But yeah, I'm still thinking about it. It would be awesome.
Yeah, I would need to do more. Anyway, I don't have time for this. I need to test more games. Okay, I can rest when I'm dead. Okay, all good. Look, guys, come in with the last questions or final questions, because we going into the 2-hour mark, and that's a lot. We appreciating, of course, everybody who's joined today. Speaking about when we almost finishing up, speak of the devil. Hey FOMO, how are you doing? I hit the tennis ball against the wall.
That is so
I did
true,
the
man.
same back then in Germany. Not because
Everyone
I have
is playing pickleball now, and I think it's because it's an easier game, and people like to play doubles with pickleball. So yeah, it is
what is
slower.
pickleball?
Yeah, it is a small racket, and the ball is a lot slower. So it's a much slower game, similar to tennis. It's a smaller court, and it is so popular. I mean, people are playing that like crazy
People
here
don't want to run anymore?
because it's easier. Tennis is so much more demanding. It's not even close. So I mean,
okay.
what's awesome about these machines is the one I was looking at. It can fire 70 miles with a spin to you. So that's like 70, 80 miles. So it's like having a pro in front of you. And you can control it with your phone, and it can do to the right, to the left, random.
Okay.
It's so incredible.
No,
So,
I will play tennis. Not learning something new in my age. Really not. Hey FOMO, how are you doing anyway? You doing good?
Thanks for stopping by, man.
Oh my God, this is nice. Thank you very much, Ronnie. We appreciate you guys. Now we are appreciating you. Really, very good actually to have this audience every time, around 200 viewers. This is incredible. You know what I mean? This is absolutely mind blowing, and I like doing this. I absolutely like doing this.
This is awesome. I mean, this is so addicted to me.
Yeah.
It's like time is not even running when I'm doing this. It's so.
Absolutely not. I just need to focus on the time because I have more stuff to do, unfortunately.
Oh,
So
sorry.
I
click another comment with you.
Go
Let
for
me
it.
go
That's
on
fine.
this one. Sorry to hear about the first gen. My S90C is first generation QD OLED. I bought an S90, a 65-inch today because of the price, hoping that it is second gen, arrives on Tuesday. So for that price, it's still good. It's not the deal I was hoping for, but it's still good, man. $1,000 for 65-inch QD OLED is good. Now I would have replaced the TV and see if I get luckier with the next one. But the reason why I don't want to do that is because the uniformity of this panel that I have is God tier. It cannot be better. So I know for sure, no matter what, the replacement it has to have worse uniformity, because this cannot be better. So I do not want to risk the screen uniformity.
Yeah,
that's the thing. The S95C I have is a lot worse when it comes to the near black uniformity. It's not even close. When you have brightness, then it doesn't matter. It's perfect. But near black is a huge difference. So yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. What was mine? Wait, just give me there was just this one. Forget about sport, Marcus. We need you to test more games on the Pro. Yeah, that's actually, I have to fully admit, I rather test some games than doing sport. but I was very sporty back then. In my when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, I did taekwondo, I did tennis, I did soccer at the same time, swimming a lot. My goodness. But then I got the Amiga 500 and it was over. No, I'm kidding. And no, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm enjoying this now. Anyway, you get more games, okay? Tested games. And yes, FOMO, next time you have to join again. You got a PlayStation 5 Pro, FOMO? Not sure, probably not. Or is he a PlayStation?
Yeah, he does.
Gamer?
He was playing. He says he was playing Black Myth Wukong.
Okay, cool. That's
with Game Motion Plus. He said he got into Game Motion Plus because of my video, which is awesome.
God. When you start, using Game Motion Plus, you can't go back. That's the problem. It's just crazy. So, guys, any last questions? Any last comments? Any last super chats? Anything last? Because then I'm going to have some dinner, lunch, not dinner. And then we see you guys next Sunday. Huh?
Let me tell you, I haven't had time to eat today. I haven't eaten anything the entire day, just water. Yeah, but I do that sometimes anyway.
Good enough. He just bought a TV, can't afford food anymore. That's how it is in the US. Oh my God, what is this last one here? Gangs. New NVIDIA GPUs coming January 2025. Not sure if buying a gaming PC on Black Friday makes sense. Your opinion? It's hard to tell. If you have the money to spend, go with a PC because you get the best experience out of it. That's how it is. You have even with my 4080 and when I'm comparing Alan Wake 2 with ray tracing effects on and stuff like that, comparing to the PlayStation 5 Pro performance mode, it's a day and night difference what the PC can offer. That's how it is.
Yeah, but I think with PC parts, it is not like with TVs. For example, TVs, maybe getting last year's TV is the best idea. But with PC parts, you definitely want to wait and buy brand new when it comes out, if possible, because you're getting a better value. Like, for example, the new, what's it, like 9800 X3D CPU from AMD is the same price, like brand new release, that the 7800 X3D, and it's better. Yeah. So in the GPUs, the same. Now the 5090 comes out, it might be about the same price as the 4090 it is right now, maybe $100, $200 more, but it's a lot faster. So if I would never buy a PC around these days because we know the new GPUs are about to be announced. So maybe you can get the CPU and then wait, but I don't like that idea for PC to just buy, it's just the CPU and then wait, because if you're gonna wait, then you could have buy that cheaper maybe. So
but it's
not a good time.
This one talks more. I'm waiting for the 950 X3D, actually the 16 core, because I have here the 7950 X3D in this PC. So I saw the 9800 X3D reviews, and it would improve my FPS probably by 20 FPS, whatever. It's really a great CPU, but I'm waiting for the 16 core, and maybe I'm just putting this in.
How do you take advantage of all those cores? Editing?
Probably not even editing, because I don't know if my editing program is supporting so many cores, but I like 16 over 8. That's why I don't know. You're absolutely right. I have no idea. But why do you need a 5090? Okay, so
but in the case of the GPU, you can always max out the GPU, but the CPU, maybe more cores are not gonna be better.
Cinebench will actually show.
No, because the thing is, with more cores, sometimes the clock speed is slower. Sometimes I don't know in this case.
That's why it's not the faster gaming. So a 9950 X3D will probably not be the faster gaming CPU, because the 9800 X3D is probably faster by a couple of frames because of the higher speed. But I don't know. Let's see. I can just chuck it on the main board. That's a good thing. It's AM5, so I don't need to do anything else. That's a good thing. But Okay, that's the last one. Star Fox is asking, what is the best gaming TV right now? Okay, what's your opinion?
I have a very, very solid opinion on that. It has to be the glossy version of the S95D, which is being sold in Germany only, I think, or some European countries. Is I forgot the model. So I'm saying which one is the best, and I don't even know the model. But it's basically a third generation QD OLED that has a glossy finish. That's definitely gonna be the
Unbelievable.
best TV, especially if if next year's TV, the F, it still has the same third generation QD OLED. Hopefully, it comes with a glossy finish, so that would be the one to get if you want the best. But yeah, right now there is a glossy finish of the third generation QD OLED, and you can get 3,000 nits, over 3,000 nits with that on the service menu. That would be the best TV for sure, and nothing comes even close.
So Foma is saying it's the S95D in his opinion. G4 are close second. Good. I never tested the S95D, but I would also say probably the S95D is pretty the best thing what you can get. But I would still probably prefer the S95C because of the reflection. And then of course G4. Yeah.
But the panel is the best. That third generation QD OLED panel is the best. Also, next year, I think FOMO was hinting that Panasonic might come out with a QD OLED because they were saying that they are confident they will win the TV shootout. So you can infer there's no way they think they can win the shootout without having that QD OLED. So that means so yeah, in Panasonic they do very high end TVs, but the thing is the price is crazy. I think it's even more expensive. The WRGB they have with the MLA right now, I think is even more expensive than Sony, which is insane because it's still a WRGB OLED. You cannot be more expensive just because it has better audio.
Anyway, okay, let's summarize this PlayStation 5 Pro verdict again, or this stream. I don't think it's worth the money. Full stop. It's because it's too expensive for the improvement what the PlayStation 5 Pro is offering right now. I do not regret buying the PlayStation 5 Pro because of several reasons. I like to test it. I like to test it because of the channel. I'm a technical person who likes to test new things. I was expecting more, full stop. But I'm not disappointed as well, because you know what I mean. I just like to spend my money on this kind of stuff. That's why I'm not disappointed. I would be probably disappointed if I would be just a casual gamer and just play once in a while, and my expectation was a little bit higher. But again, it's just not worth the money. Okay, I would wait for really PlayStation 5 Pro optimized games, so brand new games with the PlayStation 5 Pro in mind, because I hope then we see a bigger difference. Right now, if you don't have a high end TV, then don't even think about the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's my opinion. Okay.
Absolutely.
Maybe I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, and also the screen size matters. I think if you have 65-inch, I just tested the 65-inch experience for the first time, and it is so much more immersive because you can get a lot closer to the screen, and all the defects you're gonna see it. So even a small improvement on the sharpness is a big deal. Yeah, so FOMO says that he's betting Panasonic is coming out with QD OLED next year. That might be the TV to get. I hope it's not crazy expensive. But yeah, Panasonic
says the man who wants to buy a 5090. Anyway.
Yeah, I want to comment on this real quick. He's asking me to test specific games. I've been on the channel. I've been trying to focus in finding global solutions because, of course, I don't play every game you play, and I cannot make a video specifically for every game. So I've been trying to figure out, okay, RTX HDR, it works for every game. So that's the way to go. You can force that if the game doesn't support it. We have this major Paint the Cactus add-on that we can add with a reshape if it's not an online game. And if it's online and you have anti-cheat or something like that, you can force Windows 11 Auto HDR using the Leod Edge app. So there you go. You have so many ways to get great HDR, even if the game doesn't support it. And ultimately, if nothing works, you can use the SDR HDR trick. Now, for Auto HDR, you need to make sure to fix the gamma. If the game is originally SDR gamma 2.2, you have to use this ICC profile I share with you, or generate one with the generator that I share. So yeah, there's always a way to get great HDR on the PC. So I never use SDR at all.
Okay, that's the last one from SB Digital. Thank you very much. Thank you both again for the amazing content. Keep up the great work. We will, with your support, of course, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense that we put a lot of work in. So thank you very much again for your great support. Especially your last days are absolutely mind-blowing. For me, last update is Dragon Dogmas 2 will be the next PlayStation 5 Pro versus base video. Hopefully this late night, because I need to do a lot of testing. What's on your schedule, Ariel?
Well, I don't even know where to begin. Honestly, I'm getting ahead of myself. I was gonna wait to go into the service manual of the S90C, so I have something stock to compare with the 95, but I can always revert back the settings. So yeah, I'm like, okay, let me do a video about this, and then I keep progressing faster than what I can do videos about. So I don't even know where to begin, but let's see how it goes.
No worries, okay? So again, thank you very much. I think that's enough for today. Thank you very much again for watching me. We see you guys next Sunday, huh?
Bye. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye.
See you.